XoMaryMak show. I am your host, MaryXNoah, and today we have a guest. He has 15 kids. No, just messing. Just messing.
I love them all.
I love them all. No, he does not have 15 kids. He has 4 precious gifts from God.
Yes.
His name is Son of Ice. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
I'm doing good. See, you could have ran with the 15 kids, and you could have made it a play on the kids at the school. See, you should have jumped on board.
If that's the case, I got thousands.
You should have jumped on board with me. See, you wouldn't.
And I love all my kids at all the schools I go to. Just to let you know, I love y'all.
So, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
So, my government name is Frederick Douglass Rize III.
Y'all heard it here first. If y'all looking for him,
Yes.
come get him.
My artist name is Son of Ice.
Okay.
And my company's called The Sound of Learning, and we empower the youth through song and dance.
Where did Son of Ice come from?
My dad was famous back in the 80s,
Mm-hmm.
and his group was called UTFO, Untouchable Force Organization, and his name was Dr. Ice. So I'm Son of Ice.
Oh, interesting. So does Ice stand for anything?
No.
It's just pure
I'm
Ice.
just the son of Dr. Ice.
Okay. Interesting. How did he get his name? Where did Ice come from?
I have to really ask my dad that question. That's a great question. I never asked my dad where it came from. I just understood his legacy, and I wanted to pass it down because the younger generation doesn't know about my dad's legacy. So I just took the Son of Ice to pass on my dad's legacy.
Did you name any of your kids Ice?
I did not.
Gotta have
But
another one.
they got great names though.
You gotta have another one now. The next one's named Ice.
It's gonna be a hot summer, so I'll
Look, I'm over here trying to put more kids on you, and I don't want no more.
I know.
Look, kids are a blessing. I promise they are, but baby,
It's work. But it's beautiful when it's done right. But it's
beautiful, but we can't control them. Like, you can control your kids. Don't take that the wrong way. But they're their own people.
Right.
So what we gonna do? Like, even us, when we were growing up, we listened to our parents to a certain extent. Like, we still, did what we was gonna do.
Well, I look at it as all the mistakes that I've made when I was younger. Now I have a chance to correct those mistakes through my kids by telling them the reasons why they shouldn't do this. They still got to make their own decisions, but at least I can tell them the information so they could choose for themselves, and they can't say, nobody never told me.
True, I think that was where the difference between us growing up and how we're teaching our kids, because we were brought up on the, I told you so, so you do it.
Wow.
It doesn't matter the reason, it's because I said so.
Right.
So now we're telling them this is the reason. Like, I feel like a lot of things would be differently if we knew reasons why.
Right.
Like, because you can't go to your job and be like, because I said so. They're gonna be like, okay, go home.
Right.
So I pride myself in giving my daughter knowledge, and it kind of backfires sometimes because she spits that knowledge back at me. But you know what? I roll with the punches here.
Right. And is their journey as well as is your journey. The thing is that as long as you're trying every day and not giving up, that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Because giving up, then you leave it up to them to figure out everything on their own, instead of the certain things that they do take from you, they'll be well experienced, rather than everything they have no leverage. So
Absolutely, I totally agree. I tell people all the time, like, God didn't give us like the kids for us to parent them, as far as guide them to, like, you do this, you do that, you do this. He wanted us to guide them in a way of, hey, I'm going to show you how to live your life, because God doesn't do that to us. He doesn't say, this is what you're going to do. He gives us free will. And so our kids have free will too. I just tell my daughter there's a consequence either way. If you do something good, then something happens. If you do something bad, something happens. So
I have to ask you a question. I know it's your interview, but I gotta ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead.
Do you want your child to be told to tell you that they love you, or tell them that they love you just on their own free will?
She can tell me she loves me on her own free will.
So that's what God wants us to do, to love Him on our own free will, not be like, you got to do this, you got to do that.
Yeah,
and I had to learn that myself because
Yeah.
I was a parent like, you got to do this because this is going to protect you. But now I got to understand, I got to tell them why. And then when they experience it, whether they do it right or do it wrong, they can at least say, Dad, you was right because when I avoided this is what happens. Dad, you was right. When I did this what happened. So I'm gonna learn from that. And then you build the trust with each other because they'll start to see like everything that, my parents were saying was right.
Yeah. So
either way.
As an adult, I still struggle with that. Like people tell me, hey, if you do X, Y, and Z, this will happen. But for me, I'm the type of person where I have to experience it for it to actually like click. It's a terrible thing for me. And
why would you're such a nice person. Why would you put yourself through that?
I'm working on it.
On certain things you do got to experience.
And the things that I put myself through, I shouldn't.
I'm gonna pray.
Pray for me, please.
Mary, I'm gonna pray for you because not everything you don't want to experience.
I know that now. I know that now. And I don't. And when people tell me things, I take it and I process it and I say, okay, well, this is how we're going to move forward from here, and not actually do what I was told not to do.
Right.
So,
and just to let you know too, as humans, since we're born into sin, your natural ability is to resist. It is.
But I think my natural ability to resist is like, well, I can do it. Like, I'm the type of person, not like I can do it because it can't be done, just like, oh, I can do it my way. Mm-hmm. Like, you don't know my way. Like, you've never been through this. Right. But they might have been through something similar and was like, hey, I see that.
I see it.
Right. And I'm like, okay, I hear you, but that was you. And I'm like, well, maybe if you would have listened. And then I find myself going back, so, hey, you remember that time when you said X, Y, and Z, and then boom.
So you're a hindsight learner.
I'm a hindsight learner. But now I'm a foresight learner when people tell me things. Like, I feel like I've used those situations to be better now.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to say that I'm not going to, touch the stove when you tell me it's hot. But I'm getting better.
Right.
And that's all,
that's all you can do. Yes.
Is get better. So, you mentioned the sound of learning. What is the sound of learning?
So, the sound of learning, a lot of people like to put you in a box. Mm-hmm. They like to say, hey, you're good at this, and just stick towards that. They don't get to really get to see what's inside that box, to see all of what you can really do. So the sound of learning brings out whatever is in that school, in those kids, to be their best version of themselves. So when we work with teaching dance class, dancing actually builds confidence because I gotta not care about what you think. I gotta feel good in my movements. I gotta feel good that I know that I'm doing what I feel to do when I dance. So it builds a lot of confidence. Also teach how to write positive music because words have power.
Absolutely.
So if we're listening or reciting bad lyrics, you're causing those things to yourself and to others. So when we talk positive, it gets a label as being boring or corny. So that's why I come in and showing the blueprint. Because Son of Ice is the artist inside the Sound of Learning. The Sound of Learning is his own brand, but as the artist Son of Ice, that's why I come in and show them lyrically that we're just as good writing positive music because now we're showing you the way out. We still talk about the problems, but we're talking about it in a positive light to show you how to get out. Most music sometimes to show you how to stay in and not get out. Correct. You could talk about your experience, but if you don't tell me how did you overcame it, I'm just going to be stuck in that area of being in that rat race. And I just want to do my part in showing the good side of hip hop because hip hop has a great side to it. It's a great learning tool.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
I've been in business for 7 years now. Been to schools across the United States.
Oh, wow.
And it shows true that the kids get the messaging, learn from it, is impacting, is changing their decision making, because I'm coming with positive messages, not to embarrass nobody, not to put nobody down, but just to inform them, just like how we talked earlier, to give them the information. So now they got all the information, the good and the bad, and they can choose
Correct.
to do right or to do wrong.
To do what's best for them
Right.
at the end of the day. Well, one, I cannot dance. I am not a dancer.
I'm gonna have to beg to differ. Do you walk?
Yeah.
So you can walk on rhythm that is dancing. You just like people put dancing, they look at the elite, the person that put hours in. If you don't put hours in anything, if you don't put hours in reading, you can say, hey, I don't read. You don't read well, but you can read. You can dance because you...
I can dance, I just can't dance well.
See?
There we go.
If you can walk, because the reason why I say this and I'm heartfelt about this, you have all your senses, right? You can see, you can hear.
I can see and I can hear.
I teach dance class at a deaf and blind school.
Oh, wow.
And
That's dope.
all of them dance.
Well, to their defense, when I was growing up, there was a deaf boy.
Right.
And he could outdance anybody.
Right.
He can feel the beat.
Right.
You can feel it. You can feel music. Music has, one, it changes the atmosphere, and
Right.
two, you can actually feel it. There's like this clip where, I think it's Wyclef, where he says like, basically like NASA has him on this program where he's getting sounds from outer space,
Right.
and it's like calming people's bodies down. It's like healing them, things like that. So absolutely.
Right. So
But that's a heightened sense though. They have a
Right.
heightened sense of feel. That's a sense.
right.
It's just heightened because they lost one.
Right.
So, but I got all mine.
Right.
So
Right.
that means
That you can use
that
even
one's
more.
a little off. one's a little off. Okay. I'm no way.
I have faith in you, and I feel that you have.
Don't put faith somewhere else.
I feel that you haven't been trained by a great trainer
Okay. Mm-hmm.
to teach you how to do it. If you're not trained properly in anything, if you're not trained how to do a good interview, you're not going to be good.
Both of my sisters can dance really well.
Right.
I just ain't got it.
It's in you. It's in your family. It's in you. It's in you. You just, somebody hasn't bring it out of you. I think I'm going to be the one. You can do it. You can do it. That's what the Sound of Learning does. We empower the youth through song and dance. And you're still young and you can still do it.
So you talked about the Sound of Learning. You have an event coming up. Tell me about your event.
Yes, I have a great event coming up called Rize to Positive Influence with partnership with Rize Prevention, which is our nonprofit organization that we partner with and go to different schools to help them to know about not doing drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Yes.
I take a drug or two for a headache, but that's about it. That's about it, y'all. That's about all y'all get from me.
Well, we're talking about the vaping, the Percocets, the Mollies, all the things that they don't know what they're laced with, and it's been killing a lot of our children.
Absolutely. Your event focuses on positivity and keeping kids away from drugs. Is that the only thing you guys focus on?
No, we focus on positive affirmations so you
Okay.
can make good decisions, because if you feel good about yourself, then you're going to be able to pour it over to others. So if you don't feel good about yourself, 9 times out of 10, you're releasing that hate to others because
Absolutely.
you really have hate with yourself. So I wanted to create an album. The album is called Positive Influence.
Okay, so there's an album off of the event.
Yes.
That's dope.
Yes, and everybody that comes to this event is going to get to hear the album in its entirety, because it's not going to be out to the public like that, because I only really do my concerts in schools.
So it's like a listening party.
Pretty much.
Interesting.
And
So
the
it's
audience
just
get to vote for which song. So we're going to have live voting, and they get to scan on their tickets. They get to scan the QR code to pick the songs that they want to hear the most.
So is this an invite only, or is it open to the public?
It's open to the public. Tickets are on sale at thesoundoflearning.com for $25. We also running a special if you have 10 or more, because we deal with a lot of mentoring groups.
Okay.
If you have 10 or more kids, then it's $10 for each student for 10 or more. So it's been doing really well right now.
So do you target all age ranges, or do you specifically, focus more on like high school, middle school, or it's just kids in general?
The Sound of Learning goes to elementary, middle school, and high school.
Okay.
We have the potential, and we have done in the past, done colleges, but we focus mainly in public schools in those grade levels because we want to help them make good decisions before they get to adulthood and already be prepared to make good decisions.
Okay. Do you have a favorite age range you like to work with?
I don't have a favorite, but my most challenging that I like the most is middle school.
Okay.
Because middle school is honest. Like,
yeah,
they will boo you if you're not good. They will tell you, hey, this is no good. And I've been heavy in the middle schools. So that keeps me on my toes with what I write, what I say to them, to let me know that I'm on the right track. Because I got to listen to the audience that I serve to give out a better product. If I just go and just say, I'm the man, middle school don't care if he's the man or not.
You're not famous. You don't got these chains, so they
on your head. Like.
Yeah, I like the kids. I like elementary. That's I like babies. I like being hugged. I like hugging them. That's my thing. Once you get big kids, them jokers. Y'all adults at this point, leave me alone. Y'all do too much. I walked up the steps and there was teenagers out there and they talking to me just like their parents would. I said, Jesus, what am I doing right now?
The crazy thing is, the elementary level also need the deeper conversations as well, depending on the school, depending on the individual, because once you put a device in a kid's hands, they're exposed to everything that's on that device. So that's why I cater my conversations in my songs. My songs is a speech, but it's just in a way that the kids get it. And I cater it to the audience that I'm talking to at the time. So if I'm talking about health issues, of course I'm going to say it kid-friendly to an elementary student because they're not going to understand the deeper levels of health. But if I'm talking to a middle school and high school level, I can be more direct. I can be more effective to their needs because they truly understand what I'm talking about, and we can guide them in the right direction. And music is a cheat code anyway, because if you remember the lyrics, it'll help you with answers. It'll help you with saying no to things that you wouldn't even think
So
of.
they have like the rap ABCs,
right?
And then they have like these music. I guess it would be like the equivalent of Dora the Explorer, but they have current rap songs and they are doing like their numbers, their ABCs, math problems, and it's weird a little bit, but at the same time, they're listening to this music already, so it's just gonna stay in their head. Like the one I heard, I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna unhear this now.
Right.
It's there in my head. I don't want to be singing my ABCs to this, but it's there.
And I want to say that I appreciate all the artists that takes the time to use hip hop in the right way to help anyone. Because music changes moods, music changes decision making, music changes just if you're having a bad day, like to make you have a good day. So I commend anybody that takes their art form serious to help others, because that's what music is all about.
So I know you said that your dad was into music and he was in a band, but what was the turning point for you that said, you know what, this is what I want to do, this is my calling, I want to help kids through music and dance?
Well, that's okay. I'm going to keep it short, but that's a long story. But I was doing secular music at first, and then I was offered a record deal when I had a song that I did really well on. I shot a music video too, but the song was immoral. It wasn't cursing or anything, but it was just immoral. And then I was reading my Bible, and it was just telling me, what do I want to be known as? What do I want to be known for? And we know in music industry, whatever you get known for, your first hit record,
That's you.
that's what they're gonna know you
It's your
for.
identity, yeah.
So I didn't want to be known as what I would have put out there. I don't even want to say it because I don't even want to speak it into existence. So I was done with music, but I had kids, of course, and I was taking one of my kids to his elementary school, and his principal, her name is Miss Kimball, and I give her much love. She asked me, can I write a song or can I perform a song at her school for her kids? And at the time, I didn't have no songs for no kids, and she could have easily just said okay and just went on about her business. Mm-hmm. But she was persistent and said, you just write a song, and when you come back, because you're an artist, you can make up a song and you just come back and perform in front of the kids. So I just didn't take none of it. I was done doing music anyway. And then the next thing you know, my kids was having trouble learning their continents.
Okay.
And I know my continents do a cheesy song. So my first song that I wrote for the kids was called Student of the Year. And I wrote that song, produced by National the Beatmaker, had to plug him in. And when I came back and performed it, all the kids loved it. And it was my first time performing in front of that type of audience, which now, 7 years later, is my core audience. But what made me really like to start to do more positive music, one of the kids in there said they liked my song, so I'm thinking it's a song that I just wrote, Student of the Year, but it was my secular song, and it wasn't good. And that let me know I wasn't ashamed of my past, because we have to grow from somewhere, but that let me know I gotta
elevate.
Yeah, I gotta put more positive out there to bring this down.
Yeah.
And that's how it kept on going.
Yeah, you have to make twice as much positive in order to knock out one negative.
Right.
So it's pretty hard to do, but it's possible. It's
Yes.
very possible. I'm proud of you for that.
Thank you.
And thank you for being a positive influence to our babies.
Thank you.
Because, this world is a scary place.
Yes.
Especially to raise kids in.
Yes.
So I get it. Like, how do your kids feel about you rapping and being in their schools and things like that?
They like it and they don't like it. They like it because they see the impact that has happened on other people, but they don't like it because they can't get away with certain stuff because their friends will tell me because just want to talk to me because they think that I'm popular. But I don't consider myself popular. I consider myself a role model.
You're famous.
I live as...
If I'm famous, you famous.
I'm only famous because she said she's famous.
I never said I was famous.
I'm not claiming to be famous because
I never claimed it. I never claimed I was famous. I am not famous. I am an ordinary person that just does the work of the Lord, okay?
See, and I'm with her because she's doing the work of the Lord. I got to be on her side because I'm not messing with the Lord.
Stop it! Stop it! But, one, y'all gotta stop telling on them kids. Let them kids be kids. Two, my daughter tells me everything. So the last party we had was a Halloween party, and the kids were in there talking. I'm not gonna tell you what they was talking about. It wasn't terrible, but still, it was in confidence. So I ain't gonna break their confidence. But they were talking. They were like, "Gosh, your mom's gonna hear," and she was like, "My mom knows your business. My mom knows your business and your business. She don't care if she hears these conversations. She already knows." But she didn't know that I was listening, and I just found it so funny because she was like, "I'm gonna tell my mommy anyways." She gets in the car like, "Mommy, okay, hurry up, turn the music down. Let me tell you the drama." So, I mean, I create a safe space for her to come and tell me these things, but at the same time, I know she's still doing stuff behind my back. So, because she's a kid.
But
I gotta give her the space.
I'm glad that you have that type of relationship because that's rare in a lot of families. So keep that relationship always going like that.
Thank you. What can we expect from you next? Like, what do you have coming up? What are you working on? Things like that.
Well, after the April the 20th event, we're gonna do a positive influence tour. So we're gonna do 20 elementary schools, 20 middle schools, and 20 high schools, and we're gonna just turn up. Like we have the whole schools there, and we just perform the songs that they're gonna hear at the event. We're gonna be performing those songs after the event. So it's gonna be great because the kids need to have a fun atmosphere, but they're learning at the same time. It's not just having fun; they're also learning certain things, and I only reward the people that's doing the right things and being smart because. We in an age where it's not cool to be smart, but it really is. Like, I like when you use your intelligence, whatever you're smart in. Like, you could be talking to me about how you interview. You have a lot of knowledge in it, so I want to reward that. You know what I'm saying? I want to give you a good interview, the best that I can, because I know you put a lot of work in.
Are you going to give the students a chance to come up and rap and perform their songs and things like that too?
See, when it comes to that, that's why we teach how to write positive music because it is a science behind it. And I do believe in quality. Quality is everything to me, even just the sound. Like, it's not even about music. It's just, how can you listen in a presentation at school when you can't hear what the principal is saying because the sound is no good?
Yeah, you can hear before you can see.
So sound is very important. So we would like to work with the students ahead of time, because we do believe in practicing to make sure that you'll be at your very best. That doesn't mean that you can't grow from there, but you're at your very best when you step out.
I like that. So you have a magazine that you're working on as well.
Yeah, so the Sound Learning magazine just entails everything, what we do, what we provide, our merch, our services that we provide at the schools. And the magazine is going to be going to all the schools, and we also have a lot of our sponsorships, logos and things in there that you can go and find out about mentoring programs, find out about law, just in case you need a lawyer. There's those sponsorship packages that has those information in there that you can use.
If I was a kid and I wanted to be featured in your magazine, how would I go about doing that?
First, you could contact the Sound and Learning email.
Okay.
Of course, if you're a kid, I have to talk with your parents.
Yeah. What's the Sound of Learning email?
The soundoflearning.soi@gmail.com. Or you could just go to thesoundoflearning.com and it has all my information on there.
Okay. So you have a project that you're going to catapult off of your project in this tour. Tell me about that.
Yes, so the project is called Positive Influence, and it got a lot of features in there. And like I said, it got a lot of positive affirmations that once you learn the chorus, it'll help you to make good decisions. It'll help you to feel good about yourself. And the information is for a lifetime,
Absolutely.
And it's not just for the youth. It's for anybody who listens to it.
Okay.
Like again, like I said in the beginning, they put you in the box, so they put me as the kid guy. So I accept that role because that's mainly where I go to. But if you listen to some of my lyrics, I am talking to the adults as well, because I say buy you some land instead of buying new things. A kid can't buy no land right now.
Look, baby, don't you sleep on these TikTok kids. These TikTok kids out here buying houses and cars and everything else, so they can buy it too.
Yeah.
Some of these kids out here, like Taylin, I think her name's Taylin Biggs. She's probably 10, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
That little girl got money. She does fashion shows and stuff, but she might be 11. She might be around Noah's age because her and Noah both kind of came up at the same time. So yeah.
Right.
And then the little boy that does, I can't think of his name, but he does commentary for sports. He's a little boy.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking about. I know you're talking about.
Them kids,
very well spoken.
Yeah, he's very well spoken. Them are babies.
Right.
So yeah, don't sleep on them babies. don't you sleep on them babies. Look, your words are powerful. They can buy some land.
Well, I'm E for everyone, so
I'm E for everyone.
I'm covering all bases.
How did you come up with your logo?
I came up with my logo because people always try to put me in a box.
It should have clicked.
Yeah,
but it didn't.
They try to put me in a box.
It's okay.
So you never know what's in the box. Like I don't know all of what you possess.
Okay.
So if I just look for you from the outside and see what you put out there, I don't know that you could be a great mother. I don't know that you can have a singing career. I don't know these things until
I'm a great mother though, but the rest.
But I wouldn't know.
You know now.
Oh,
the
you
jack
know it
popped
too.
out the box.
Exactly. It got to come out the box.
Because that ain't it, okay?
But you might have hidden talents that people
In
don't.
the shower, I sound amazing, okay? But that's about it. That's about it. I'm good at this. I'm good at content. I'm good at managing people's social medias. I'm good at making people laugh. That's about as far as I go.
Yeah, but see, I have to talk to you.
Actually, it's not as far as I go. I have other talents, but we're not going to talk about it because somebody behind the camera might start acting up, and I don't need them to start acting up.
So he knows what's in the box of more of your creativity.
So if you go to, I don't know what episode number it is, but the one with Adam Black, you can see my creativity. But if you don't, then...
Oh, speaking of Adam Black is the GOAT, and I'm going to say this. Hey, I want to shout out to my wife. She's my favorite person in the world, and I love her very, very, very much. Thank you.
Not you going to pull an Adam. That's
Facts.
not pulling an Adam. At this point,
Facts.
it's pulling an Adam. He's dubbed it.
It started with Adam. Can I get a dog to Marco?
No. No.
I'm weak. So look, we gonna, like Adam said, get back on track.
And Jesus saved us, right? And he came through.
I'm not doing that.
Can I get a dog to Marco? I'm sorry. Hey, that's just the writer in me. I'm sorry. Right.
I'm weak. Okay, so I let all of my guests ask me a question. It could be anything. Go ahead.
Okay. I gotta ask you a question.
Just don't make it generic.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you a good question.
Ask me a good one. The last two was pretty good. I was like, oh my gosh, let me think about this.
What is your why for interviewing?
My why for interviewing? So I just kind of got thrown into interviewing. So at first I didn't have a why. Now I think my why is more of spreading positivity, helping people get their voices heard, helping people know that like you can sit down and talk to people, meet new people, you can expand your brand by doing that through social media. Like I feel like my calling for this season, however long this season may last, is social media. I'm really good at it. I'm good at managing it. I'm good at maintaining it. I'm good at making content. And I can help people be their best selves and progress to the next level through media. So that's my why.
Well, I just want to tell you this. You will always be in business as long as you helping people. So keep helping people.
Thank you. Thank you so
Yes.
much. Well, tell them where they can follow you, where they can find all of your information, things like that.
Okay. Well, I have multiple pages, but my artist page is Son of Ice on Instagram. My company's page, The Sound of Learning, is on Instagram as well. The Sound of Learning is on Facebook, and then Son of Ice Video is my YouTube channel.
Okay, and tell them where they can register for the show again.
You can register for the show at thesoundoflearning.com. Get your tickets quick, you know what I'm saying? Support and your donation goes to the youth that we serve.
Shout out to Adam Black, okay? He's got Project Eden coming up, which I'm excited for. And if you was not a part of Project 333, tap in with my man so you can be a part of Project Eden. And on that note, I'm MaryXNoah, and we will catch you guys next time.